I think we have all the board members on.
Yes.
So it's 7:02. If we can call the meeting to order, and if we can, is Joanne on?
She's frozen.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Dr. Siniak, do you want to wait or proceed?
Proceed.
Okay, if we could, the pledge of allegiance.
Joanne says she could hear everything you guys are saying, so everything's good as long as it's not a video.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So if we could, the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To
to the flag
United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
Indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Okay, so welcome everyone to our November board meeting. We'll be very brief. I want to turn it over to Dr. Siniak. I just wanted to thank, first of all, the students and our families for all of your patience and your resilience over the past few weeks, or for the past few months, but especially the past few weeks. And Dr. Siniak, thank you for all of your COVID communications. We're working behind the scenes every day. We're communicating, and Dr. Siniak is communicating with the county and Department of Health, and we're all working, I think, very well together, trying to work efficiently. We've had some classes shut down, but we haven't had the schools shut down. So I think we're doing very well. And whether you're virtual or in person, thank you to the parents for all of your hard work and your dedication. And thank you to our staff, of course. And you guys, everyone's doing a really good job. And I'd like to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day, recognize all of our veterans and the families of the veterans. Thank you for your service tomorrow. And I hope everyone enjoys their day off. And I will turn it over. I'm going to ask for the routine approvals before I turn over to Dr. Siniak, if we could have approval of 2A, the approval of the October 13th, 2020 minutes, 2B, the approval of warrants, wires, budget transfers, and the 2C, approval of the treasurer's report. If we could do a block motion for 2A, B, and C, if I could have a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Gordon, second by Stevenella. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, all in favor. Motion carries. And Dr. Siniak, it's all yours.
Good evening. Welcome to our November Board of Education meeting. Our November Board of Education meeting annually and generally is our Board Appreciation meeting. So tonight, it will not be as it normally is because we are not in person. But tonight, in honor of School Board Recognition Week, I would like to take a moment to thank the 7 people who lead and support our school districts on behalf of our community. This is a time to recognize these community members who approach their volunteer work as board trustees as if it were their full-time job and with extraordinary dedication to the North Merrick schools. As many people know, school board members are charged with making decisions that sometimes can be quite difficult, as we have seen firsthand during these past 8 months dealing with the pandemic. What many people don't know is that board trustees spend many, many hours away from their own families to provide the best possible outcome for our students and our school district. Each member contributes his or her own strengths to the district, and these individual perspectives make the North Merrick Board of Education an exceptional team. In my capacity as superintendent of schools, I know that being a school board member entails more than any of our trustees bargained for, and history will recognize the year 2020 as the year that school boards across the state persevered and found ways to thrive through these challenging times. Words of thanks are simply not enough, and we try each year to acknowledge our board in a meaningful way. This year makes it even more difficult because we cannot meet in person, but I want you to know that we all thank you from our hearts. As words have greater weight in poetry, Our unions and PTAs have created cards with poems expressing their sentiments, as you can see on the screen. And we now offer thanks from the district this way. To care so much for your community is a quality all too rare, yet you give of your time and talents for all of us to share. So thank you for being a volunteer. We're privileged to work with you. We want you to know how appreciated you are, not just today, but the whole year through. So if any of you out there in the audience happen to see any of our school board members when you are out and about, President Megan Ryan, Vice President Michelle Gordon, Board Trustees Ed Corona, Robert Crowley, Stevie Nella, Vincent Lantini, or Tracy Miller, please join me in thanking them for their service to our school community. A big round of applause. Thank all of you for all that you do for the North Merrick School District. Okay, on to superintendent's comments. So for my first comment, I have a helper tonight, Ms. Tracy Miller, who's going to take over for me for a moment.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're jazzing it up tonight. You're muted, Tracy.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Cindy. I'm still not used to that. I did want to take a minute to say a few words about one of our board members, and especially being Board Member Appreciation Week. I want to congratulate our board president for recently being appointed Chief Operating Officer, in addition to her current role as top lawyer, Executive Vice President, and Chief Compliance Officer at the Nassau Healthcare Corporation. You are amazing. Mrs. Ryan's leadership and career experience has helped ensure the health and safety of our students and staff returning to our schools in September amid the coronavirus pandemic. In addition, she was able to secure the donation of 4 temperature screening kiosks and funding for PPE materials to our schools from the Friends for Good Health, a Hicksville-based organization at which she performs pro bono work. While serving on the district's reentry task force, President Ryan worked diligently and collaboratively with her fellow trustees, North Merrick parents, faculty, and staff to put children first, front, and center. Ms. Ryan always recognized the collective efforts of all stakeholder groups, which ensures North Merrick is a district of excellence and inclusion. We are so fortunate to have her in our corner. So congratulations on behalf of the board, Megan. We're so lucky to have you.
Great job and congratulations, President Ryan. I'd like to move on. If you visit our district website, there is a State of the District report. The Central High School District had put out State of the Schools report, and the component districts felt that it was a great idea to give an update to the public. It's a good read. It really breaks things down simply for parents and community members as to the process we follow when we have a COVID case and the role of teachers, parents, administrators, etc. So when you get a chance, please visit our website to take a look at the State of the District report. Our virtual school update, our virtual school is up and running and doing very well. Parents, students, faculty, and staff, very happy. So we can actually say we have an excellent program working in our brick and mortar schools, our physical schools, as well as our virtual schools, and we're very proud of both equally. We have an extraordinary partnership with the Department of Health right now. I speak with them quite often. They answer all of our questions. They guide us through our contact tracing procedures, and they are always working with us in the best interest of students and staff. I thought it was worthwhile to give them a shout out at our public board meeting. They're doing an extraordinary job across the county. We had our PTA District Council meeting yesterday afternoon. I know that Mr. Corona is going to report out on that later. We have our Mental Health Coalition meeting on Thursday afternoon. Looking forward to more partnerships being formed. We also are planning on putting out another parent survey. we feel that we've been open now, if you can believe it, for about 8 or 9 weeks. And we really want to touch base and get the pulse of parents and what's going on with their students. And we feel that we can use that information to help support the needs that are out there. So there will be a survey coming out to parents over the next couple of weeks. Our task force met this morning, and all of our subcommittees met over the last 2 weeks. We received feedback from each of the subcommittees who reported out and gave us suggestions and recommendations and ideas moving forward. Very fruitful meeting, very engaging, and we really received a lot of good information. Again, it's Board Appreciation Night. Cannot appreciate working with this board more than we do now during these very difficult times. The support that they provide to our community is available 24/7. We are constantly talking and we are constantly communicating. Our parent university will be held on November 16th at 6:30 virtually. We have some really excellent speakers lined up, as well as a yoga activity to end the night with some peace and relaxation. And before I end, I would like to speak a little bit about the rumors that are going on around town and across the county about closures of schools. At this point in time, I can assure you of 3 things. The superintendents in Nassau County have not met with Laura Curran. The superintendents have not met with the governor, and we have not received direction to close schools. Those are 3 facts that I can share with you. It doesn't mean that things will change tomorrow or the next day, but we have not received any directives or direction from our county executive, Lauren Curran, or our governor. And we are in tune, I am in tune with the community, the superintendents across the components, as well as across the county daily. And that is something that the component districts wanted me to share tonight at our public meeting, that at this point in time, there have been no meetings and there is no direction for us to close our schools during the breaks. Thank you very much. And I'll now turn it back to our board president.
Thank you, Dr. Stiniak, for clearing up the rumors. I know it's all over social media, so I appreciate that. And as always, if there are any communications, official communications will go out through Dr. Stiniak and her office.
Yes. Thank you.
Also, thank you for our board appreciation. Did not expect that. I didn't realize. So thank you. And thank you to the PTA, paraprofessionals, CSEA administration for your nice words. And also, I would be remiss not to thank my fellow board members who I really enjoy serving with you all. And you all bring a different, unique perspective, which I think makes our district even better. So thank you. And thank you, Vice President Michelle Gordon, for all of your extra time and insight on the committees and everyone, all your work. So moving on, public comment again tonight is, because we're virtual, is via email. The BOE approves the following, and it's whereas the state of New York, along with the entire nation and the world, in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, a public health emergency unprecedented in modern times, on March 16th, 2020, Governor Cuomo issued Executive Order 202.4, which suspended the requirements of the Open Meetings Law concerning Board of Education meetings. And whereas, as permitted by Executive Order 202.1, the Board of Ed's meeting tonight will be conducted via www.youtube.com with no public participation. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Education hereby suspends all policies pertaining to the format of this meeting, including Policy 1120, which provides for public participation and comment at Board of Education meetings. Ms. Long, do we have any public comments via email for tonight?
No, none were received. Can they hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, great. No, none were received.
Okay. Sorry, I read all that then. Okay, so, okay. So I'm going to just ask for a motion to approve 6A through 6F tonight. If we could have a motion to approve all of our business on the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Ed or
Second.
Vincent, seconded by
Ed.
Ed. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I think I was all in favor, so carries unanimously. And a motion to approve 7A, the personal actions report as detailed in the mailing.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Gordon, second
Second.
by Steve Anella. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I heard Robert Crowley there. All right, well, so unanimously approved. And I think the last approval, 8, are special services, 8A and 8B as detailed in the agenda. If we could have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Tracy Miller, second by Ms.
Second.
Gordon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved. And moving on to the report of the committees, the first one up is the high school committee. I don't know if it's Mr. Corona or Ms. Miller.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so at our last Belmont Merrick Central High School District meeting, which was this past Wednesday, Superintendent John DiTomaso announced his retirement effective June of 2021. Mr. DiTomaso has been with the district since 1988, where he was a social studies teacher at Mepham High School. He left briefly, came back, and assumed the position of superintendent in 2013, where he's been ever since. We'll miss him. He did a wonderful job bringing new wonderful innovations and programs to our district. And we were also very happy to appoint at the very same meeting our new superintendent, which will be Michael Harrington, who is our current assistant superintendent. Mike Harrington's been with the district since 2003, and he's been the assistant superintendent since 2017. So we're very happy for both those. And we also felt that at this time of, great turmoil in our nation and our school districts, it was great to have this taken care of quickly and with seamless effort and transition of leadership. The same meeting, we also honored Dr. David Goldberg. He's a social studies teacher at Calhoun. He was honored with the Binghamton State Alumni Distinguished Service Award, and that was a great honor for one of our faculty. And that's all I have. Trace, you want to add anything?
No, you covered it all.
Also, due to the fact that we do have, Meadowbrook School, we have Brookside, that we have been having our meetings live in person, because very different situation that we have down here. We don't have as many people coming into the building and students each day over there at Brookside. But we do have in person in the auditorium over there as well.
Right.
Okay, thank you. And I remember Mr. DiTomaso when I was at Calhoun High School. So I'm not going to say I'm getting older, but I wish him well. All right. The PTA District Council, Mr. Corona, do you have a report?
I do. Okay, District Council, a couple of important highlights. Parent University will be held on November 16th. Virtual wellness. They say make sure you have a yoga mat handy. The night will include some useful yoga. The virtual school, the report is going very well. Doing a wonderful job from our teachers doing the classroom. We have a teacher at every grade level, and they're very innovative with creative classroom environment for the house and home instruction. Let's see. Fayette School. Fayette had their fall festival. It was a lot of fun. They had a pumpkin patch where all the kids are able to pick pumpkins and go back and decorate them with Sharpies. They have started their Reflections project, and it's due on 11/13. And this year, the theme is I Matter Because. October 25th was their Spiritware store opened, and it was kept open for 2 weeks. There's a Thanksgiving pie sale, which has just started. All orders are due on 11/11. That's tomorrow, I think. And they had Picture Day on 9/29. It was well organized and social distancing requirements. The retakes will be on November 18th. Camp Avenue also had their fall festival. It was well planned out. Children all got pumpkins and they decorated them. They will have many fundraisers, including Miss Chocolate, Spiritware, Book Fair, Amazon Smiles, Stop and Shop, Box Tops, and upcoming online holiday boutique at the end of November. Old Mill Road had a very successful virtual assembly with former Harlem Globetrotter and youth motivational speaker Corey the Dribbler. And they have also have some fundraisers planned, including Spiritware and Cards for a Cause. That's my report.
Thank you. Buildings and grounds, Mr. Carter, or?
Hi, everyone. I'll keep it short and sweet. Everything's been going very well, and I'm knocking wood right now. The district's running pretty well, and, I can't believe how much Dr. Seniak talks to the Department of Health about all the situations as they arise. It's amazing the interaction between the two. We're about to start the gymnasium lighting project at Old Mill Road. We received the scissor lift today so that we can work off of that, and we'll be replacing all of the lighting in the gym. And you guys will be happy to know that this is being paid for almost entirely by PSE&G through a rebate program. We bought a certain fixture that they approved, and they're reimbursing us, I would say, close to 95% of the cost of the fixtures, and our labor will install them. We're receiving wood fiber for the playgrounds throughout the district. This is the stuff that is underfoot when you're on the playgrounds, keeps you safe. Every once in a while, it's got to be, you have to add wood fiber to keep it cushiony. So we'll be doing that starting tomorrow at camp. The maintenance guys have been working on a compressor project. These guys were smart. When we were doing the bond project, they had the foresight to salvage, and not salvage, but save some of the better parts from Camp Avenue that would have gone in the dumpster or, elsewhere for other, for when we needed them. And we do need them at HDF, and it's working out great. We have a compressor going in there. And through their resourcefulness, we didn't have to purchase a new one. The Smart Schools project is moving, and it's actually starting in Old Mill Road. For those not in the know, this is the data project that we're doing district wide. It's infrastructure, it's wiring and Wi-Fi. It's going to be huge as far as technology goes. We couldn't have had it happen at a better time with all the needs of the Chromebooks and laptops that we're using. So this is going to be a real boon for the district to be able to actually use these items without losing signal a lot, which anybody who's worked in our buildings can sympathize with that. We started, election day actually went very successful. My guys were there, doing some deep cleaning while two of the buildings were were being used as polling stations. Everything went well. We sweat the details. Mrs. Long and I and the custodial staff made sure everything was great and gave them what they needed to conduct their voting, and it went very well. And it gave us an opportunity to really get the deep cleaning in the nooks and crannies. And just to piggyback on what Dr. Seniak said earlier, we conducted task force meetings, subcommittee meetings, and all of the subcommittees have checked in, and it's amazing how much we've all learned as a group since June, when things started coming back, when we came back to work, June 24th, I believe it was. From then to now seems like a blink, but when you start looking at meeting minutes from these task force meetings, it's amazing. The learning curve, the Bell learning curve that we really went through to get where we are. And it's been through a lot of hard work, and most of the people right here on this panel were involved, and it's rewarding. It's rewarding to see. And I think if you would have asked people 3 or 4 months ago, what do you think? They wouldn't have thought we'd be where we are. So I'm very happy about that. And that's about it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Carr. And thanks to your staff as well. Thank you. Communications that we received one on October 22nd, and according to Ms. Long, that was handled and responded to. So I'm going to move on to if there are any items up for discussion, unfinished business tonight. Okay. Having none, new business, any items up for discussion? All right, with that, I'm going to ask for we're going to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, because that's going to be here soon. And I hope everyone stays well and your families stay healthy. And thanks again to the parents, the students, of course, and our staff. So with that, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
Seconded by Mr. Nella. All in favor. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Night, Joanne.
Good night.